What is in a Paedophile Manual and how does it help the child molester? Part 2. Sustainability. For offenders who pursue prolonged abuse, the critical suitability factors are established during a grooming process, wherein boundaries are evaluated, and the child's personality traits, e.g., self-esteem, self-confidence, cognitive abilities, naivety, curiosity, and trust in adults, are discerned. Most pedophile manuals focus on facilitating a child molester's fantasy of establishing a lasting child-love relationship. Secrecy silence. The initial aspect of sustainability, as articulated by the authors of the manuals, is the offender's assurance in their capacity to prevent the victim from revealing the abuse. The instructions provide multiple methods to achieve silence, encompassing physical incapacitation and other techniques of psychological manipulation. Cooperativeness compliance control. The second aspect is the necessity to guarantee the child's compliance with demands without opposition. The guides outline several strategies to elicit children's participation, assure their compliance, or, as a last resort, exert control over them. Compatibility. The third aspect of sustainability is guaranteeing that the designated child will act or respond in accordance with the offender's expectations and fantasies. For instance, if the perpetrator's delusion is that children derive pleasure from sexual abuse, the victim should be able to articulate this notion, or, at the very least, adequately instructed to suppress any expression of emotional or physical distress. To achieve compatibility, the exploitative or abusive experience must satisfy the fundamental needs, e.g., pleasure, safety, dream fulfillment, of the perpetrator. The abuser's objective is to emerge from the event predicated on the assumption that the fundamental positive traits were present, devoid of unforeseen or intolerable elements that exacerbated the negative aspects, e.g., guilt, shame, cognitive dissonance. Opportunity. For perpetrators uninterested in forming a prolonged abusive relationship with a child, many recommendations are provided to enhance opportunity and mitigate danger. The guides caution the reader to exercise vigilance due to the narrow margin of error when searching for a child in most neighborhoods. The provided approaches encompass methods to evade identification, such as traveling far from home to avoid familiar individuals and reduce the likelihood of encountering the child in the future, as well as strategies to diminish the chance of apprehension, including identifying escape routes. The fear of being discovered is evident in every manual. If an offender seeks merely a singular abusive encounter, the manuals indicate that much of the guidance provided on child grooming is irrelevant. Instead, they propose that abusers seek out a victim who is incapable of delivering a significant revelation to a carer or law enforcement official. They propose victims with physical disabilities, including those who are intentionally drugged, or victims who are incredibly young. The victimization process. Upon identifying an ideal victim, the perpetrator initiates the process of grooming the youngster for subsequent exploitation and/or abuse. The manuals delineate two processes, designated as the active and passive routes. Both can be deconstructed into subcomponents. Active pathway. The primary phases involved in an active pathway are A. Obtaining access, B. Initiating contact, C. Perpetrating abuse and/or exploitation of the child, and D. Executing outcome management. Gaining access. Offenders can access children by deliberately placing themselves in situations where they hold positional influence over them. Occasionally designated as community heroes in the manuals, these positions encompass youth coaches, educational personnel, lay clergy from religious institutions, and childcare providers. The children witness their parents' interactions with these adults, and the respect their parents exhibit towards individuals in these roles fosters the establishment of trust between the perpetrator and the child. The handbook writers indicate that the most accessible life circumstance for targeting potential victims is to assume the role of a formal carer, e.g., parent, step-parent, foster parent, grandparent. Firstly, the residence offers substantial privacy. Secondly, the house offers several opportunities to nurture children, particularly as their individual strengths and weaknesses are recognized and can be strategically utilized. Third, when the perpetrator wields explicit positional authority, they exert complete control over all punitive and reinforcing mechanisms. Finally, parenthood or guardianship facilitates consistent interaction with other children, e.g., one's children's friends, in diverse environments.